it certainly did seem like that Colt came in and gave them a bit of a jolt.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the hard part when you lose a guy like Alex Smith, and we all know that Jay Gruden really has liked Colt McCoy. The organization likes him. The players like him.
Mm,
So there's a lot of respect there, but it's now like you're one hit away from playing who.
right. Right.
So like as much as Colt's going to give him that jolt, and I think he can do some things, but now it's like what happens if, because the way Colt plays, he plays with an abandon at times, and you watch him, it's like he's a highly competitive guy who wants to win, and you see that reflective in the way he plays. And I always kind of felt like he was a mixture of Kirk Cousins and RG3, as far as like he can sit there and throw the ball, but he's also going to take off and run whenever he can and try to get those yards. And so, but I think what he absolutely gives you is a guy who knows the offense really well. And it's funny because on Friday, Trent Green was at the Redskins practice. And I remember I went up and talked to him. I covered him back in the day. And Trent Green, he and I were kind of joking, like if North Turner had been fired a year before, like after, a couple years before he had, Trent Green may have never, quote, happened, but he got his chance because he knew the offense well and the timing was right, and North did last long enough for him to get an opportunity, and he made the most of it. Nobody would have predicted what happened with him, okay? And so you don't know how much that experience in the system can mean to a guy as a quarterback, and you saw that sometimes with Colt where, you hit the plant step, the ball's out, plant step, ball's out. That's a familiarity with what's going on in the offense. And so I think that's what he gives you too. And, I know I remember talking to him a couple of years ago about all the things he does to get ready for a game when he knows he's not going to play. He is a highly prepared guy. But the other thing that I talked to him about was some of the stuff he did in the offseason. And he had that shoulder injury in college, right, in the national championship game. It took a long time for that to heal. And he works with Tom House, pitching guru, but also works with quarterbacks. And he said that over the last couple of years, he felt like his arm had gotten stronger. He felt like he was throwing more like he used to. So he felt really confident about what he could do because of that work, and he's continued to work with him. So I think, I'll be curious to see the benefits of that once he plays. And, but I think there's, he plays with a swagger too, and I think that rubs off on guys. Guys like him, and they're not just, they respect him, and I think there's no doubt that, about that.
Yeah, I like him too. I like his swagger. I like his athleticism. He looks like he's a little sprier than Alex at this point. I like that he takes chances. Now that's going to come at a cost. There's no question about it.
Yes.
I also think now neither guy will light you on fire with their arm in terms of their arm strength, and I wonder, is that a factor in why they went for the 63-yarder? Look, everybody in the building knows that they would have to do some sort of sideline pattern there on that last play with 8 seconds left. But if they had a little stronger armed guy, could they have taken – because I just wish they would have run one more play.
Well, the hard part, and it's funny because I didn't think about it from that perspective. Mm-hmm. My thought was there's 8 seconds left. What are you going to – you're going to have to get a quick out and 10 yards to get the first down.
Right.
That's hard
the
to
problem.
do.
It was 10 yards.
Yeah, so I think that to me was a bigger factor than anything else.
So if it was 4th and 5, do they maybe go for it and try to rip one a sideline pattern?
4th and 5 is a little different because you can get that quick out. Now, of course, they're going to play for a quick out.
Yep.
But I think that's a little bit of a different situation. But, 4th and 10 with 8 seconds left, I think that's just hard to do. I think both of them were low percentage plays, and you may as well take a shot because you do have a guy who's a strong leg, and even though he's had the groin injury, it just didn't work. I mean,
as soon as he hit it, I knew it was too high.
Yeah, I think that was just, But, it's funny, you brought up the spry part, too, and you see that. I mean, Alex has been using his legs a lot better, I think, the last several games. But a lot of what he's been using it is moving around in the pocket, stepping up. But you saw, like, with Colt, the spryness on, I think there was a 2nd and 5 where the linebacker comes free, and he just cuts inside and cuts around the end for like 7 or 8 yards down inside the 10. It's like that. He's got that that speed that is noticeable. And again, Alex is using legs well, but it's like he looks a little bit like he has a little bit more burst there.
So obviously we're focused on the quarterback, and I'm sure we can talk more about it. But the Josh Norman call there was brutal. It's I don't know, maybe by the letter of the law, maybe there's some sort of interference there, but I don't know why they needed to call that way out of the play. It just seemed crazy.
Well, it's funny because like I told him after the game, it's like I kind of feel like you got caught going 57 in a 55.
Yeah.
And I know like that play, the holding stuff, they changed. I don't know if they changed it, but I remember a few years ago they said that they were going to. It's like it doesn't matter where you're at in the field. If you hold, you hold. But the play was so far to the other side that in that situation, did it really impact anything? And I think the hard part for Redskins fans, you see like the play to Doxson a little bit later where, a guy goes over his top, but that guy's going for the ball. That's fine. But the other guy hits him before the ball even is there. So, and you see that and there's no call, and so you're going to, of course, get pissed. Yeah, I think in the Norman situation, he said that even Hopkins said something to him after, like, yeah, and I kind of got lucky with that one.